Hi, I'm Elaine Sanchez. When my husband and I met in 1995, we fell in love quickly and we were blissfully happy. Alex was a widower with 5 children. I was eager to love his kids and grandkids. I was divorced and he was just as enthusiastic about loving my 3 kids. What I didn't think about was how the traditions we wanted to create together would impact our children. Alex's family's traditional Christmas Eve meal was red chili enchiladas, pozole, tamales, beans, and biscochitos. My holiday specialties were beef Wellington and homemade peanut clusters. We thought, no problem, we'll do both. New Mexico feast on Christmas Eve and fancy beef Wellington on Christmas Day. But what I didn't understand at the time was this. Even though we were in love and ready to start new traditions, Alex's children were still grieving the loss of their mother. All their lives, Christmas was cooked in her kitchen. My kitchen and my food was foreign to them. And even though my ex-husband was still alive, it felt strange to my kids to be celebrating Christmas with a new stepdad and 5 new step-siblings. After our first Christmas together, my daughter said, "Mom, you need to know, it's hard for me to walk into your house and see pictures of somebody else's kids on the wall." And one of Alex's daughters said it hurt her to see me putting flowers in her mother's vase. I took the flowers out immediately, put them in another container, and gave her the vase. And we also took the pictures off of the walls. We kept hosting for several years, and I kept making the perfect meal. And then one Christmas, one of Alex's daughters said, "My boys would rather stay home and play with their toys than come over here for a formal meal." I'm not going to lie, that hurt my feelings, but not enough to make me stop. Looking back now, I thought I was giving them a gift, a beautiful meal that they didn't have to cook. What I didn't see was that I was trying to make them love my tradition, and by doing that, I was preventing them from starting their own. When our kids are little, everything in their world revolves around us, and vice versa, and we want to make Christmas magical. But when they grow up, fall in love, and build their own families, their lives no longer are centered on ours. And maybe the greatest gift we can give them is the freedom to create traditions that belong to them and their family. At some point, I think it makes sense to ask ourselves, so whose tradition is this, and who is it really for? Is it for the people we love? Is it for our memories of the way things used to be? Or is it something else? Ego, bribery, a reluctance to let go? I'm not sure. But here's what I finally learned. Love that clings too tightly becomes control. But love that opens its hand becomes a gift. So if this Christmas looks different, if the house is quieter, or if the kids choose another table to sit around, it doesn't mean you failed. It might mean you raised people who feel safe enough to build their own story and traditions. And if Alex and I ever end up in long-term or memory care, I hope they'll remember who we were in our prime and how much we loved each other and each one of them, and that they will come visit us, maybe bring us a yummy treat, and then leave before we get too tired or cranky. Thank you for walking through this holiday journey with me, for showing up with your love, your grief, your laughter, and your very human heart. I'm Elaine Sanchez with CaregiverHelp, and my hope is that you will give yourself the same compassion, grace, and humor you give to everyone else. Happy holidays, and may you feel loved just as you are.